Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Carpenter and welcome to Leadership Strategies. So the focus of this course is learning about how to effectively lead in and around organizations. And the thing is, organizations can be complex social systems that are comprised of many different people with many different perspectives on various events and goals and all sorts of things that are going on. We spend a lot of our lives interacting and being engaged with organizations, from going to university at UVIC to going out to places, to going to events, to go watch a show or watch a sport team, and engaging with volunteer organizations. They are all over the place, and it's basically how we've constructed our lives. And that's been challenged over the past couple of months with the rise of the pandemic and how organizations have had to respond to stay afloat. It's been an interesting time to be alive. And so in response to various challenges that come up, as well as the need to grow and flourish as organizations, we have a number of challenges that leaders face in and around organizations. And so the key challenges in this course that we're going to consider are the challenge of control, the challenge of commitment, the challenge of influence, and the challenge of positioning. And I speak a little bit about this in course spaces and in the course outline, so please have a look to understand a bit more of what those are. And so the thing is, people understand the world in very different ways, and they perceive things in very different ways. And so the framework through which we are going to look at these different perspectives and ways of understanding roles and life and value in and around organizations is through 4 frames. The framework 4 frames. So the 4 frames through which we are going to look at and understand how we can be effective leaders in these organizations are the structural frame, which looks at the rational side of organizations and considers how organizations are structured and how they operate, what the different pieces do. We are going to consider the human resource frame, which explores the human side of organizations and the relationships between people and how they function and how they are motivated, which is obviously quite important for leadership. We're going to look at the political frame, which looks at the power dynamics in organizations. So who holds the expert power, who has referent power by being likable, who holds positional power based on the structure. So lots of things to consider there. And then there's also the symbolic frame, which is about making meaning of the experience, where an organization is a theater where drama unfolds and is explored and meaning is developed through that. So these 4 frames are the approach that we're going to take to understand how we as leaders can effectively speak to and work with individuals and organizations to move through the complex world in which we are living. I'm thrilled to be teaching this course. I completed my MBA at UVIC in 2009. And it's especially fun to be teaching this course specifically because this was the approach that we took to learning about managing people in organizations. And the reality is these frames actually nail it. They really, really do. I've seen it played out through the perspectives of other people. I know which frame speaks to me the most effectively, and the frames that I've had to take on as a leader to be able to speak to others. It really does work as an effective framework for understanding how to lead and engage in organizations. So, you're probably wondering what you need to do to be successful. Because this course is being delivered online, it's really important to make sure that you are online actively and engaged. Make sure you know what's required of you for the week ahead, because our class time was essentially supposed to be Monday at 8:30 to 11:30. And so for those who weren't terribly excited about getting up at 8:30 in the morning, or well before 8:30, you don't actually have to worry about doing that, because now we've structured it a bit differently so that we can maintain safe social distance while still engaging effectively in the course. So there are 4 components to your grades and how you'll be evaluated in this course. And the first one is participation. And so again, because we can't engage effectively in class and discuss a number of these topics which are really interesting, What we will do is have a weekly discussion on Monday at 10 a.m. from 10 to 11 to go through a specific topic or activity. And a number of these are actually self-assessments. So in our discussions, it's really important to have done the work ahead of time, of course, but also create an environment of being safe and secure and open, and where we can learn from each other and also share what we are effectively discovering about ourselves, and yeah, essentially learn from each other. So that's your participation mark. And that's those are our discussions, which will take place Mondays from 10 to 11 Pacific time. If you can't be involved, please let me know ahead of time, because each discussion forum or each discussion session counts for 2% of your grade. So it is important to be there and be very engaged and interested in what we're doing, and participate actively. So that's 20% of your grade. The next section is 40% of your grade, which are the reflective reading assignments. So what you're going to be doing is taking some readings, and then you're going to be writing and reflecting on what you have read. And so there are 8 of these, and these count towards 40% of your grade. So it's a pretty important component of your assignment. Each week, the questions are posted under each session, and the purpose is to encourage you to analyze and integrate the course materials into your understanding of the world around you. So the reflection papers need to be submitted through course spaces, ideally, by the due dates. There's a bit of information on the late policy, which you can look on in the course outline for your reference. And so there are 8 of those papers, and that counts towards 40% of your grade. The next one is your personal leadership philosophy. So this is you developing your own approach to being a leader. And so the leadership scholar Warren Bennis suggests that becoming a leader is becoming yourself. And so what you need to do is reflect on how you are going to be a leader, in who you are as a person, and you're going to present this using a selfie video. So what you need to do is take a video of yourself describing what your personal leadership philosophy is, and upload a link to that, and include your worksheet to Course Spaces. And that is due in the middle of the course on June 14th. That's 20%. And then your final assessment component is your business leader evaluation. And so this is due on August 9th. It's worth 20% of your grade, and it is a Pecha Kucha presentation, which is 20 slides for 20 seconds each. And what you'll need to do is create a video of you presenting this presentation and provide a link to wherever it is that you want to store it online. I highly recommend YouTube because it's easy and easily available. So what you'll need to submit for that one is your Pecha Kucha presentation, which will have a slide with all of your references, as well as a link to the video itself. So there's lots to get through. This is an excellent course. It really, really is. And I'm so pleased to be having the opportunity to work with UVIC again and be involved in this capacity and support your learning here. Again, it's such a great framework and way of understanding the world. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. I can be reached at any time by email at kcochran, COCHRAN @uvic.ca, and I very much look forward to supporting your learning here.